Are you winning? Do you need help in your life or business? Could you use some inspiration, business strategies, and success principles? I'm Daniel Gomez, award-winning business coach, keynote speaker, and best-selling author. On the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, we will help you create a successful life and elevate your business. Together, we will discover the keys that unlock your success and dreams. Welcome back to another episode of the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, where we motivate you, we inspire you. And today, man, we got a special treat for you today. I'll tell you what, I got a dear friend of mine, a dear brother of mine, all the way from the big city of Nashville, Texas. Let's welcome to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, Sterling Stokes, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing phenomenal, Daniel. It's just a blessed day. I'm so grateful, and that's what it's about, right? You need to be grateful day in and day out. My mindset is stop asking for things, just be grateful for everything that arises.
Well, I know the amazing human being you are. We spend a lot of time together up there in Nashville with Coach Bird and just our amazing community up there. But do me a favor, introduce yourself to the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show, please.
Hello, world. Hello, all. My name is Sterling Ross Stokes III, the execution specialist.
The execution specialist. Well, let me tell you, brother, where did that name come from? The execution specialist, because it's like, right, the executioner. That's not a good thing, right? That's a
No.
but the execution specialist. I love that. You know why? Because I speak all over the world, and one thing that breaks my heart is the biggest lie that we've been told as human beings is knowledge is power. No, it's the execution of that knowledge. That's why I love you. Like, dude, it's a perfect tagline. So talk to us. How did that name come up for you?
Well, that name came up for me just from, my early years playing college football, even pee wee football. All my coaches always said, you have to execute. You have to execute on the next play. We forget what happened prior. We have to get out there and make sure that we stay the course. From there into my corporate America life, that's always been in my memory, right? So every time that I lead teams, every time that I'm developing a person or helping a business, it's about execution, right? It's just like you said earlier. It doesn't always come down to you being the smartest. It comes down to who's going to execute the best, and that's going to be the person that's going to win.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what, I love it because so many people, they're scared to execute the wrong way. And when you're scared to execute the wrong way, I see a lot of inaction. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we continue on with this amazing episode, you know what we say here at the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show: get out your pen, get out your paper, because Sterling's going to drop some massive notes. And like we always say here at the show, what you write down, you retain in your noggin, you retain in your brain over 50% of it. And I definitely want you to go back and watch this episode, like I always say, because don't just watch it and listen to it just to say I watched. No, I want you to study it like you're going to teach it, because Sterling's going to drop some massive wisdom. Why do you think people are so scared to execute though, Sterling? You know, they have it and they don't do anything. They kind of freeze to say.
Yeah. I think fear brings a big part into why people don't execute. And fear is nothing more than a mere excuse for going forward. When I think about, that excuse, I'm here to eliminate excuses. But people, I feel, in my 20 years of developing people and helping businesses, what I've seen is that people, it's a you versus you situation, right? They get into their heads, they, sit there and they say they can't do it. You have to understand, words are powerful. When you speak words and you speak words that are negative, understand you're going to get exactly what you're saying. So when I'm sitting there developing people, I explain to them, first, you have to believe. It starts with believing, right? And if you can believe, you can achieve. And I'm a firm believer of that because I'm living proof of that. You must no longer be scared. You must move forward and understand that our Almighty Father has provided us with unique gifts that we must execute on. And that is so critical in order to get to the level of success that you want to get to. Because mind you, success is measured by everyone differently. So, but first, fear is a natural thing that you may be overcome with. You have to learn how to get past that fear in order to execute, in order to unlock your hidden potential.
I love what you said. So let's circle back here. So think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Sterling said this: words are powerful. Your words have power. And I love that you said that, because so many people, Sterling, that I see when it comes to that point of stress, when their back's against the wall, a lot of times their dialogue towards themselves, right? Towards themselves turns negative. Oh man, I'm so stupid. Man, I can't do anything right. Man, I'm not smart enough. Or just instead of lifting themselves up, they bring themselves down. Tell me about the word aspect of it. Why did you say that words are so powerful? Because I want you to elaborate on that, because I think some people don't understand really that with the words you speak create the world that they live in, and they miss that aspect of it.
I always break it down in this particular metaphor. Life is a movie script, and you are the director of your life. And I want to make sure that people don't get delayed in their execution, in their greatness, like I felt that I was doing. So, what did I do? I sat there. Oh, I can't do it. I don't have enough money. Oh, man, that person's smarter than me. Right. And what did that do? That delayed and stopped me from moving forward to execute. Right. Words are so powerful. I understand that you have to mitigate risk. I get it. But stop delaying your own impact on the world by using negative words. Negativity is not the key, positivity is. Positive words program your neocortex, right? And it gets you calm, it gives you the ability to go ahead and commit. Because as we both know, you wait on courage, you're going to be waiting for the rest of your life, right? You must commit to something and put the work into it. It's never rewarding, or will you be able to execute at such a high level if you do not get past yourself? You're not in competition with anyone else but you in your mind. Your neocortex is where you make all of your important decisions in life. And if you're sitting there with a negative thought, understand you're going to get a negative result. So that's why, for me, inspiring and motivating is one aspect of, getting you excited, right? But without action, there is no reaction.
I love that. So ask yourself, write this down, ladies and gentlemen. I am the director of my life. You're the director. And what do
Yes.
you need to change the screenplay? Maybe you're there, you're listening to this episode as you're driving somewhere, and you're like, what do you mean I'm the director of my life? Well, the words that you say to yourself create the life that you're living. I always talk about this. Your outer world is a reflection of your inner world, and it comes from the words that we speak. So what's the script you're telling to yourself every day? Are you telling yourself that I can do this? And like Sterling said, whatever you believe you can achieve it, you can go out there and make it happen? Or are you really just stuck in the past and allowing past betrayals, past hurts? So many people, I was talking to a client earlier, Sterling, and it amazes me how, as grown adults, well, we don't realize sometimes, as the adult that you and I are today, and people listening and watching this, we make decisions based on the kid that we were. And you have grown men and women, 40, 50 years old, that are still lingering with stuff from the past. And I want to kind of just do a little shift here, because the word that came up today was resentment, right? We don't realize how resentment can affect the words that we say. And right off the bat, resentment changes the lens of how we see things. And somebody can get stuck in resentment. People say, oh, no, I forgave him. I forgave him. I go, yeah, but there's always a deeper forgiveness. But, and I always say it this way: if Sterling, if somebody had resentment towards somebody, who would it be? And the word if kind of gives them a little buffer. So they're like, okay, well, if, and then it surfaces. But why do you think so many people get stuck in resentment? And how is that, first of all, how is resentment harmful to a person, not just in their personal life, because it carries into their business, but how does that affect the words and the lens that somebody's, how they live and see things through?
Well, it's almost like, Daniel, that's a great question. It's almost to where if you were listening to a cassette tape back when we were growing up, it's like you're hitting the pause button, right? When you resent someone else, and we're energy, right? Human beings are energy. We have a soul. You're pausing the gifts that are coming from above, and you're focusing all your energy and negativity and focusing on someone else, when if you would take that same energy and focus on your business, focus on helping people, then that's when you start to get into a cadence of really speaking and changing your vernacular from the negativity, the negative things that you're saying. And it sharpens you to really focus on, why am I here? I'm here to help others. And that's what you want to be able to do, because one thing is this: there's no one that's perfect. So you have to be able to pivot. But when you get tired enough, frustrated enough, that's when you're going to do something different. Because if not, all you're going to do is repeat the same thing or pause all your blessings. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to be a part of the 87% that pass away and never, ever unlock their hidden potential or find their purpose.
Did
And
you
I'll
say
say it this
87?
way:
Did you
your
say
purpose
87?
won't find you.
Did you say 87%?
87% of people that pass away are and never unlock their hidden potential, right? So those gifts have moved on to someone else now because you didn't utilize them. And that's why I'm such a firm believer that
Yeah.
it doesn't matter your color, your financial background. We're all given the same opportunity, and that opportunity is a choice to either move, to stay where you're at, or to impact. And that's when you truly give back, in my thoughts.
Yeah. So I want to know, how did you get to this point in your life? Because you have an amazing background. What made you one day all of a sudden say, "Hey, I just want to be an entrepreneur"? I don't think anybody wakes up and says that, because there's always like that shift, right? That moment of your life where, okay, the brain change. I call it the brain changer. When was that
Mhm.
moment where your brain changed and said, "This isn't working anymore. I'm going to go and I'm going to become the execution specialist"? Talk to us about that. What happened in your life back that really caused you to want to pursue what you're doing now?
You know, it almost goes back to the title of my book. You have to be mentally tough. You have to stop delaying and execute, because the time is now. So let me kind of walk you through what I mean by that. As I was growing up as a young child, my father was my superhero. I always inspired to inspired, I'm sorry, to be like him, right? And I recall so many times when I was younger, when I started playing football, he's like, "Son, you got to be mentally tough. Just because you're smaller does not mean you can't knock over that person, right? It's it's all about speed." And luckily, I was gifted enough to be extremely fast and almost be the fastest person on every team that I played on. And I leveraged that, right? From there, mentally tough was always in me. So I may have seen high levels of success, but even in high levels of success, there is situations that things are going to happen, right? And things would happen, and I would go to negative town, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just not good enough. Didn't make it to the NFL, just not good enough. Really beating myself up. Then from there, going to corporate America, start thriving, and becoming very successful. So I would go out for different positions itself. I was moving up, and it was all wonderful. But then I got to a point to where I wanted to move up even further, and went out there 3 times and still did not get the position. Right. So that's when you go into a situation of negative talk, right? There would be a rec that would come out. I just wouldn't do it. I would just delay. And when you delay, what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen, you delay your blessings, right? And it's so critical for you to push through that and understand, what did I learn by not getting that, right? Who do I need to go and speak to so I can go ahead and get that? And sometimes it's also leading you down the path of maybe there's something else out there that I'm destined for. Maybe there's more impact out there. So you almost hit a ceiling. And you know what? For the last 20 years, I've been very, very blessed. But also, I want to bless people on a bigger scale. I don't want them to make the same mistakes that I made. I want them to be able to bend time, is what I call it, shortening the distance in their milestones, right? To get them to the mile marker that their destination is at. So from there, I was like, okay, I can do this. I can really do this. And I was talking to my father, and it was last summer, and we were having a conversation. And I was kind of asking him questions. Dad, are you ever going to retire? And he's like, yes, son, in the next 2 years. And I was thinking about that. I've been asking him this question since college, and it's always been in the next 2 years. So that was a very powerful moment for me.
You know what
And in
came up?
that,
You know what I thought about when you said that?
mhm,
You know, there's always that point when you get your gold watch, right? You know, I'm going to work another 2 years because I want my gold. That's what kind of came to mind is you work another 2 years because I want to get that gold watch. And then I remember I was talking to somebody and they're like, yeah, you know, because the workplace isn't what it used to be. And they were like, you know what? Why not shift that thinking and say, screw working for somebody for 20 years to get that gold watch. Why wait another 2 years to get that gold watch? Go buy your own damn watch, and then you can buy it whenever you want to wait. Why you want to wait 20 years? And I thought about
absolutely.
that when you said that, because so many times we delay because we're scared. We're not the uncertainties on the other side. And I'm glad you're sharing this because somebody needs to understand, right? Somebody's saying what your dad said is 2 more years, 2 more years. And then before you know it, we have the illusion as human beings that we're going to live forever. So I love what you're talking about there.
Yeah. So from there, thank you so much, Daniel, for that. From there, I was like, okay, well, Dad, I'm going to be wanting to do some things to, take my level of success and get it in front of people. I didn't want to tell him specifically what it was because some things you need to keep in yourself in order for you to really get to that mile marker that you want to be in. Because people sometimes will, because they may not be where you are currently, kind of talk you out of that path. And through that discretion that I was using, I got a call. I got a call for me to go and spend Labor Day weekend with my father, and that was a very exciting weekend with my daughters. So we flew up there to Pennsylvania, had a phenomenal weekend, just literally phenomenal. And then headed to the airport, flew back home, and speaking to my father always, if he would have retired, wanted to open up a consulting business. And like I stated earlier, my father has always been my superhero. So I wanted to, go into business with my father, right? I'm named after my father. I'm the third. He's junior. So let's put our superpowers together and let's go out there and help people, right, at a high level, right? Because it's never about self. It's about sharing your story with others so that they don't do the same things or have some of the same delays that you had. So my father had a business trip that he had scheduled later on that week, and my father does have a military background, and he did not want to go, right? But my father always finished what he started. He always executed, right? He always completed the mission. So he was headed there to the location to broker a deal. And he was with my bonus mother. And halfway through the trip, my father was very, much always driving wherever they went. He was saying he wasn't feeling good. So she took over driving, and my father sat in the passenger seat. And he, just closed his eyes, started sleeping. He started breathing erratic. And my bonus mother knew that something wasn't right with the situation. So she pulled over at a hotel. And, my father went into cardiac arrest right there. Um, that was extremely tough. I'm still dealing with it now. It's definitely still fresh. He's only been gone in this physical earth for the last 9 months. On the 6th is when he passed away 3 days after I saw him. And for me, even though I was already on this path, as you stated earlier, Daniel, we don't live forever. If you're not growing daily, if you're not moving towards where you want to end up or have that contribution to this world, then at any moment you could be gone. And I lost my father. And I'm just so grateful to be able to still hear his voice, to still be able to feel his presence, to still be able to leverage the systems and things that he taught me growing up to impact people. And that's why I'm so big on stop delaying and execute. The time is now.
Are you an aspiring speaker? Do you have a book that you've been wanting to write for months, maybe even years? Or are you an aspiring podcaster? You want to start that podcast like the Daniel Gomez Inspire Show and don't know where to start? Well, at Daniel Gomez Enterprises, we can help you do all three. We can help you become that paid speaker, share your story to the world, write your book, and get your podcast launched and help you produce it. We'd love to help you. Give us a call at 210-663-5954. That's 210-663-5954. We can help you become that paid speaker, write that book, and launch your podcast. We'd love to hear from you. Give us a call now. So did your dad ever get a chance to retire?
He didn't. He never got a chance to retire. And that's definitely
That's powerful.
when you're an entrepreneur as well as I am. When you are an entrepreneur, it allows you to have impact and to solve big problems. And when you're ready to retire, you can retire because you are the one that owns the business, as opposed to continuing to work for someone else and fulfilling their dream. And I'm going to be very honest. My father passed away. They can go and hire someone else. Even though they were there at the celebration of life and spoke very highly of my father, that's not something that I would ever want to leave my daughters with, which is definitely a huge catalyst on why I'm doing what I'm doing, to really get in that space of showing my girls on how to be successful. It's not as hard as the world makes it seem.
Yeah.
Once you realize it's you versus you, and if you can have a positive mindset and understand that there's really no such thing as negativity, there's really no such thing as bad things happening, that's when the mind shifts happens. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't want you to think that I'm crazy, because I'm not. Me losing my father is probably one of the toughest things that I've ever had to go through. But I hear my father in my head saying, son, finish your mission, impact the world, change people's lives, you know?
No,
And that's where I say
and
things aren't negative.
I'm thinking about the title of your book. So it kind of fits perfectly with what we're talking about, because this is what's coming to mind for me as we're having this amazing episode is so many people delay small things in life. We delay the intermediate things in life, and then we delay the bigger things in life. And we think tomorrow's promised. And thank you so much, first of all, for being vulnerable and sharing this story about your father. And ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Write this down. Where am I delaying? Where am I delaying? You know, God put something in your heart, whether it's to start a laundromat, to open up that bakery, start your lawn business, whatever it may be. What are you delaying? Maybe for you, it's not to become an entrepreneur. Maybe for you, it's to go back to school and get your master's. Maybe God's put that in your heart because God has a different path. It's okay. Not everybody's called to be an entrepreneur. So, but what are you delaying? And the subtitle of Sterling's book is Stop Delaying and Execute. And maybe it's because you're not mentally tough. You know, the beautiful thing is your book's going to be coming out here real soon, actually, before the end of the month. Your book's going to be live on Amazon. And you can have the paperback version, the Kindle version, which is amazing. And the thing is, this is people, You have to be mentally tough. There it is. There's that. Yeah, man, that's a beautiful there, right? Look at that. Woo! That's a one of a kind right there. Mentally tough. Yes. But where think about this. Because this is serious, right? Sterling, he had no idea that his dad was going to be passing away when he left for that trip. You keep delaying and delaying, thinking that you have forever and you don't. Sterling, do me a favor. Just look in the camera and take about a minute or two, and I want you to talk to the audience about what's the importance of not delaying, right? Stop delaying. Why should they stop delaying? Because I think this resonates with you with what we're talking about.
I feel that people want so many different things. Can say, I want a big house, I want a Lamborghini. I want, but they're not willing to do what it takes in order to obtain those things because they're merely and truly things. And when your clock stops ticking, you cannot take those things with you. But what you can do is by action, by not being scared, by investing in yourself, by having a positive attitude, by being aware of your surrounding, by asking for help, by giving help, by not hating. All of these things I'm speaking about are a series of alignment, a series of things that if you can start running those mental reps in your head, you will unlock the power, your superpower, your ability to impact, your ability to truly smile. You will no longer sit there and have the anxieties of this world. You got to get up. You got to move. Because if you don't move, you're going to die. That's one thing that's promised to all of us. Our time will come to an end. But wouldn't it be wonderful for you to be able to go out there and do things and overcome the negativity that you experience from a child on up to an adult of people telling you what you could not do? It is in you and greatness is in you, but you have to commit and you have to work at it day in and day out. And I don't wake up every single morning wanting to go out there, but you know what? I know how to win. I understand what that feels like. I understand what it feels like to pour into someone else's cup and see that cup just blossom like a flower. For I may be the water in their glass, but they're the person that has those dreams and aspirations. And it's up to them to take action daily and understand in their mind tragedies will happen. But that's okay. But what did you learn from that to not repeat that? That is what I hope everyone gets out of this today, is that it's never too late to pivot as long as you are grateful and you do not stop. Do not let fear, do not let evil, do not let negativity be the roadblock that separates you from the gifts that were given. Complete your mission. We are here to impact. Let's get out there and do it and execute at a high level by simply changing the way that you speak, the way that you think. We grow every single second of the day. So that means you have to read some books. That means you have to get some different perspectives. That means that some people will not like what it is that they see that you're doing. But understand, don't worry about that. Don't worry about them. because all that's going to do is delay you on your path to overall greatness and impact to the world. You stay the course. You stay the course, and you get what you learn from others, and you help others also, and you take that and you continue to grow, and you go out there and you impact the world. That is how you, everyone, can be mentally tough and stop delaying and execute, because the time is truly now.
Boom, baby. Woo! There you go, Sterling. Man, that was fire, brother. Thank you for that.
Thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, think about this. Think about what he's saying. There's everything you need is already inside of you. There's already greatness inside of you. Sterling isn't reading a script. Sterling isn't looking at a video. Sterling's speaking from his heart, because that's what God put in him for you today. Don't be a Sterling watcher. Be a Sterling doer like he did. And talk to us as we're getting ready to land this plane. What made you want to write a book? I'm curious, right? Like, we're seeing Mentally Tough. It's an amazing book, and the beautiful thing of what I like about your book is, at the end, a reader's not just going to read your book. You actually challenge them to execute, because there's questions at the end of the chapter, just to kind of get them to think a little bit deeper. What was it in you that said, man, I just, it's phenomenal. I love the title, Mentally Tough. Stop delaying, execute. Your time is now. What made you want to write a book, Sterling?
I feel that everyone should write a book. I feel that everyone's story can gain actually help people with a greater impact, right? Like, to stop them from running into those instances and repeating the same things. It's all about awareness. And writing a book and sharing my story will help people personally develop, as well as companies develop. Because I have some really cool, neat little systems in there. As long as you execute them as they're designed, or take what you need from the book and add that to maybe one of your missing structures, I guarantee you will execute at a high level, and you will be mentally tough, and you will move in a way to be able to bend time. I couldn't go no longer in my life without sharing what has happened in my life with others, to see them have an increase instead of the decrease that I've been experiencing with working and developing people. People need that interaction. People do not want to fail. People need help to know how to win sometimes, and how to execute, and how to unlock their hidden potential. So this is why I was so inspired to write this book. And I hope it unlocks and makes you have to, all the readers that read it, to actually have that moment of self-discovery, right? That's why there's questions in the book, because you have to go deep. You have to dig deep.
Yes.
Reading a book without asking yourself questions in the book is simply just a story. But this is a tool for you to unlock your hidden potential, for you to make a shift, for you to be the best version of yourself, or your company to be the best version of the brand for your people. Because understand, without people, you're by yourself. And we are not creatures to be by ourselves. We are here to grow each other, as well as growing our businesses. And businesses cannot function without people. And people cannot function without people.
Love it. What's your favorite? What's one of your favorite scriptures or quotes in times of adversity that you lean on? What's one of your favorite scriptures or quotes that you rely on in times of adversity?
Excuses are monuments to nothing. They build bridges to nowhere, and people who use them are often failures and conquerors of nothing. That is one of my favorite poems.
Say that
And it
again.
does
I like
appear
that.
in the
Say that
book.
again. That was good. Say that one again. That was pretty good. I like that one.
Excuses are monuments to nothing. They build bridges to nowhere, and people who use them are often failures and conquerors of nothing. I dig for that when I feel like I may be overwhelmed, because I'm going to tell you one thing. The poem is called See It Through, and I'm always see it through.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, his book will be out here by July 1st. It's going to be out there. KDP, Amazon, all over the world. Get your copy. Mentally Tough. Stop delaying and execute. The time is now. Sterling, how does somebody get a hold of you if they want to connect with you, my brother?
I'm on all social media platforms, but you can definitely hit my landing page at www.sterlingexecution.org. And I'm here. I'm ready to help. I want to coach and develop you if you need that. I want to send you messages. I want you to see the videos that I have. I want you to purchase the book. And the reason why I want you to do that is because that's the first step to unlocking your hidden potential, feeding your brain, putting good things in your mind. That will always help you during the difficult times.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sterling Stokes III, my brother, congratulations on your book coming out here. We're honored to be your publisher. And ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap for this week's episode. Until next week, we'll be back with another amazing guest here on the Daniel Gomez Inspired Show. And take to heart what Sterling said today. Think about that. Where are you delaying? Write this down. Where am I truly delaying in my life? And the second thing is, where are you not seeing your own greatness? We always wait for tomorrow, but the way that the book says, right, your time is now. The time is now to take action. Nothing happens if we don't execute. Nothing happens if you don't take one step forward. So thank you, Sterling, again for joining us. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're stuck in life, if you're stuck in business, like we always say, reach out to us here at Daniel Gomez Enterprises. If you have a book that you want to write, like Sterling did, we want to be your author also. We're honored to be your publisher. Sterling, behind us, we want to be your publisher. We want you to be our next author. And if you have a story to share, we want to see you here September 13th and 14th in San Antonio at our Sticker Shock Speaking Academy. We want to help you build your speaking business and monetize your story. Until next week, we'll see you here on the Daniel Gomez Inspired Show. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless you. This is Daniel Gomez Inspires, and thank you for listening to our show today. Please share this episode with a friend, leave us a review, and subscribe to our show. And for listening to our show today, I want to give you a free gift. I want to invite you to our Millionaire Mind community. Text the word millionaire, that's millionaire, to 210-942-5059. Yes, join our community today and receive millionaire affirmations, inspirational quotes on a weekly basis. That's 210-942-5059. Text the word millionaire today and join our community. And once again, thank you for listening to our show.